Hey, Jules Plus Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So people, we are talking about the 100 most toxic, nastiest foods on the planet. I know. It is a happy topic. I think it's a necessary one. I know those aren't my foods, but I like to remind my compulsive self why they're not my foods. And this comes from eat this, not that. And what I appreciate about them is they have a ton of hyperlinks in case you want to learn about some more things. And they also do a lot of research, and I appreciate that as well. Sidebar, before I get started on numbers 6 through 10, I'm struggling. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but honestly, I got stuff. I have blisters on my tongue, which some people said, oh, it might be from pineapple or mango or whatever. I don't know what it's from. I decided to take out my braces. I was afraid the bacteria was holding stuff in. I think that did help a little today. But I have this rash on my face right here. You probably can't see it, but trust me, there's a rash from here to here. And that's a little odd for sure. And even like a inflammation, I know it's TMI, but honestly, a inflammation ring around my belly button, on the outside of my belly button. Is that weird? Yeah, I mean, there's not like anything excreting or anything. It's just literally, I thought, are my pants too tight? Is my belt tight? Am I doing something rubbing? I don't know what it is. My body is tripping out. Okay, maybe it's telling me like you were considering taking that vaccine for COVID. You think we're freaking out now. Introduce some more nightmares to us that are foreign and see how bad we fight. I've obviously put something in my body, or some things. I try and do mostly organic, but sometimes I can't. I've obviously introduced something, or indeed my body is trying to rid itself of certain things via the rash, via the inflammation ring, via my tongue. I mean, crazy. And now I'm just in pain. So I felt like I had, a little bit of almost like cold-like symptom. And then now my back is killing me, but I didn't do anything to warrant it. That's probably not completely true. I was lifting 50-pound bags. But I lift 50-pound bags. Let me think about that. I was lifting 40 pounds of water, 45 pounds of water. That was probably a little more than I normally do. Doesn't matter. All solutions are get on your rebounder, which I'm about to do. No matter how tired I am, I promised at least 15 minutes a day, and I'm on my game. No matter what, have some tea, which I will certainly do. The kitchen is closed, and continue to stay on plan. It doesn't matter what the scale looks like. It doesn't matter what my day is like. Did I eat right? Did I get in my fluids? Did I move my body? Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, that said, in case you also live with people who eat the standard American diet, or if you're just fresh off the train from that, which I certainly consider myself to be, these are just some good ideas about those 100 toxic foods, and maybe giving you a little bit of a foundation to stand on when you do communicate with people who still eat this way and why they shouldn't. So number 6 is bacon and sausage. To be fair, some of you might say, hey, well, they make a, vegan variety, and they most certainly do. And it's probably a little better than a dead carcass, right? But not much better, since it's completely made of chemicals. Let's be fair. That's how they make it taste similar to the actual thing. So I forego all of that. But if you're in transition and that's your game, hey, rock and roll. Let's learn about it. This is classic. It says the unhealthy ingredients, okay, is nitrates and nitrates and high heat cooking methods. What's funny is they don't say one of the unhealthy ingredients, which is the dead carcass of an animal. Okay, you will never get life from death. Let's be fair. So processed meats are the worst of both worlds. They're typically made from red meats high in saturated fats, and they contain high levels of advanced glycation end products, which remembers is that acronym for AGE, AGE. Inflammatory, a hyperlink, compounds that are created when these processed meats are dried, smoked, and cooked at high temperatures. Not to mention those nitrates and nitrates in cured and natural uncured meats can turn into carcinogenic nitrosamines when exposed to high heat. And remember, carcinogenic is cancer provoking. according to meat science. And you're typically roasting your sausages on a flame flickering grill and baking in a frying pan, right? Eat this instead. Luckily, manufacturers have a limit on the amount of nitrates they use and are required to add, this is classic, you're eating dead meat. Okay, the nitrates are carcinogenic, which leads to cancer. They're limiting the amount of cancer exposure, but it's still cancer exposure. It's like when my doctors told me, Juliana, just take some lithium, okay? And I'm like, okay, but the lithium's killing me, right? Because it was doubling the dose in my body when I was, taking other medication. Yeah, but we'll just reduce it. You can just take some. Okay, so just introduce a little cancer to your body every single day. Yeah, that was a no. So same thing. So here they've reduced the nitrates, but they're still cancer provoking and still terrible. And this is so cute. They've added antioxidants to dead food and vitamin C. Help me out here, people. This is, did we say you want your cake and eat it too? I think we do say that, right? I mean, it's really wanting to continue to eat the nonsense and get away with it. And you just can't. Add antioxidants all day, it's dead food. Add vitamin C all day, it's dead food. Okay, with nitrates, which are carcinogenics. I don't care how little. Okay, a review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found helps to inhibit the nitrosamine formation. So what happens when you cook at a high temperature is reduced a little bit by adding the vitamin C and the antioxidants. Again, try raw food and don't even cook it. While a study in, meaning plants and vegetables, not dead raw food as in sushi, let's be fair. Or what is that other stuff? Is pate also raw? Ugh. While a study in the food chemistry found processed foods have an average of 80% fewer nitrates than they once did. So again, they're still having nitrates, which is basically 100% of potential cancer-causing agents, but they used to have 80% more. So they used to have 8,000%. You're still at 100%, let's be fair. You can take extra precautions to limit your nitrosamine exposure by purchasing uncured meats that use no nitrates, only salt, and try turning down the heat. Because again, even if you remove the nitrates, heating at a high temperature creates the same chaos. Stay off the meat. Number 7, sugary cereal. Unhealthy ingredients, and I'm only going to say these once. I'm going to slaughter them, and then I'll use the short form. Butylated hydrotoluene, which is BHT, and butylated hydroxyanisole. I didn't do too bad on that, which is BHH. BHA. Refined carbs, added sugar. These are the problems. These are the unhealthy ingredients. There's no sugar coating it. Great pun. Sugar wreaks havoc on the body. Consuming too much of the white stuff can lead to obesity, which often causes other health problems like diabetes and heart disease. And many cereals pack more sugar into one bowl than you'll find in a Boston cream donut. To make matters worse, many popular varieties like Frosted Flakes and Fruity Pebbles are also laced with BHT and BHA. Check this out. Well, the United States is so enlightened. They care so much about their people. We have the Food and Drug Administration. Yeah, well, we also have lobbyists with a ton of money who get the Food and Drug Administration to look the other way. Let's be fair, because check it out. These ingredients are banned in the UK, which of course is Britain, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and much of Europe because they're thought to be carcinogenic. High cancer-causing agents again. You'll also want to check out the 20 worst healthy cereals. It's a hyperlink. Eat this instead if you're going to eat cereal. Cascadian Farms Chocolate O's and Nature Path's Peanut Butter Panda Puffs are both flavor-packed, low-sugar picks that don't contain any scary chemicals. Okay, frozen entrees. Unhealthy ingredients, sodium, and preservatives. And that's just what's enhancing them as unhealthy. I don't even know what the content is that you've chosen inside, right? So you may still be dealing with meat and all those other things, but added to that is sodium and preservatives. So it says freezing food is a terrific way to make it last longer. So why add preservatives? Great question, right? Unfortunately, manufacturers do. Just witness this list, and of course it's a hyperlink of 67 of the worst frozen foods in America. Eat this instead. Opt for organic, low sodium, low sugar frozen options. And of course there's a hyperlink for the 15 new healthy frozen foods that make clean eating a breeze. Number 9, restaurant dessert. And there's what was once a beautiful picture for me and now looks like nonsense on a plate. But of course, when you see the article, you'll see it. But little piece of cake, scoop of ice cream, and even some, what is that stuff called? I never favored it. Whipped cream. Only it's the real stuff instead of the canned. Anyway, the healthy, unhealthy ingredient in that, again, this is a restaurant dessert, is sodium. So it says, in here you thought we'd say sugar and calories and fat and everything else. While that's true, and restaurant desserts are dangerous because the portions are often oversized, it's the sodium content that many people don't even think about. That innocent-looking California Pizza Kitchen dessert you see pictured above has a whopping 1,110 calories, 73 grams of fat, 640 milligrams of sodium, 103 grams of carbs, and 64 grams of sugar. Check it out with its other evil friends on the hyperlink. 20 restaurant desserts with more salt than a bag of pretzels. Instead, a small scoop of sorbet is a low-risk way to satisfy that sweet tooth at the end of the meal, especially if it is just frozen fruit. How lovely. Number 10, white sugar. Surprises number 10, seriously. Number 10, white sugar. The unhealthy ingredient, sugar. Duh. It actually says that. So cute. According to the Pew Research Center, again, coming out of church and answering those people, Americans ate over 90 grams of added sugar a day. 90 grams of added sugar a day in 2014, which is 40 grams above the FDA's recommended intake of 50 grams per day, and a whopping 65 grams above the World Health Organization. So again, that loving United States Food and Drug Administration says go for 50, right? The World Health Organization, of which the previous president left, and we're going back. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but they literally said that you should only have 25 grams a day. So it's 65 grams above the World Health Organization and only 50 grams above, only 40 grams, forgive me, above what the FDA said. Organizations recommended intake of 25 grams. That's all they want. Americans' high consumption, and you know, again, this is lobbyist, the sugar lobbyist, saying, no, wait, 25, we'll go broke. Make it 50, they'll be okay. Well, great, now who's going broke? The consumer who's become a client with all the health problems that they have, desperately trying to get doctors to help them because they keep consuming what the Food and Drug Administration has approved as an acceptable amount of sugar. When the World Health Organization says, you're kidding, right? We thought we were high at 25. You're double that at 50. Don't worry, we care about you. Americans' high consumption of refined white sugar has been linked to everything from increased risk of type 2 diabetes, to heart disease, to obesity, to cancer. It doesn't say it. We know it's related to cancer. Say goodbye to added sugars and goodbye to your belly with the zero sugar diet. My fear of that is that it'll be high fat nonsense, but zero sugar belly. I love it. Eat this instead. Check out the report. Every popular added sweetener ranked. To choose a smart alternative. But we'd recommend reducing your intake of added sweeteners in general. Okay, I didn't write it. I'm just sharing it, people. No. I would rather you have natural sugar any day, even though white sugar is not natural sugar, okay? Even sugar in the raw might not be natural. That is most certainly bleached and everything to make it pretty and beautiful. But I would rather you chew on a sugar cane than have the chemicals and artificial sweeteners. I mean, I told you it took me a long time to get off of Diet Coke, and it was painful and awful, and one of the best things I ever did, okay, on so many levels, including getting rid of caffeine and taking care of my migraines as a result of that and everything else. I just had to get off of any of that. But it was very difficult to do. And I'm so grateful that I never got into other artificial sweeteners. I literally one time, my husband, on my 50 billionth, trillionth, 5,000th and 10, I remember the number exactly, diet, lovingly got me a bunch of sugar-free, probably Valentine's candies. The most painful thing I'd ever experienced in my life. Of course, I ate it like any professional binger would, but the pain from those artificial sweeteners in my stomach literally got me to the hospital. I didn't know my name. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea that I could poison myself on the artificial sweeteners in that candy. After that, I proclaimed if I was going to dare to eat a dessert, I would just eat it as is with all the natural, terrible things in it and never go for double chemical artificial sweeteners. Such a nightmare. Anyway, humor me a second. I'm going to hang up, but I just want to see what this zero sugar diet is. I'm wondering what they're supplementing it with, because, you know, we kept thinking that if we made things fat-free and sugar-free and everything else, that everyone would lose weight. But the minute they omitted the sugar, they filled it up with more fat to make it more flavorful. The minute they omitted the fat, they filled it with more sugar. Or when they removed both, they put in salt and oil and anything they could, right? And of course, the artificial sweeteners, trying to get anybody to continue to consume it. So this says, lose up to 1 pound a day and curb your cravings for sweets with delicious recipes. Science-based food swaps. Okay, but do you have any information for me? Let's see. Maybe they do. It says I can listen, but oh my goodness, after teaching all day online, it's the last thing I want to do. But I really want to see what this says. Okay, so it says sugar is making us fat, agreed, and sick, agreed. And it's everywhere. High doses of sugar aren't just lurking in candy and ice cream. They're being added to foods you'd never suspect. Foods like pizza, oatmeal, pasta sauce, even many of our most popular health foods. And they do say 76% of every item in a grocery store has been enhanced with sugar. 76%. To keep tantalizing our taste buds, food manufacturers are adding sugar to everything and getting us hooked. I agree. Now, from David Zinczenko, the #1 New York Times bestselling author of Eat This, Not That. Hey, this is, okay, if this is my guy, I take it back. Let's see, because that is exactly what these articles are. And Zero Belly Diet comes the ultimate guide to losing weight and crushing your serving craving. I know, but tell me, please. It's backed by powerful new research and coupled with an aisle-by-aisle guide to more than 600 amazing and naturally sugar-free foods, including yogurt, cereals, and even hot dogs, hamburgers, pastas, and chips. So it's all the standard American diet, but just trying to have a little less sugar. And it'll strip away belly fat faster than you've ever imagined. And you'll get even skinnier when you're in your early grave. Because I've never seen a fat skeleton in my life. Let's just say that. Lose up to 1 pound a day and free yourself from sugar forever. All it takes is 14 days, of course, to restrain your taste buds, curb your cravings, and set your hormones back in balance while paving the way for rapid weight loss. And as your belly shrinks, you'll be slashing your risk of today's most dangerous diseases while freeing yourself of the sugar cravings food marketers are using to keep us fat and sick. Okay. I hear all of this, and I am just like, did you see the menu? 600 amazing natural sugar-free foods, including yogurt, cereal, hot dogs, hamburgers, pasta, and chips. Okay, that's just suicide right now. This time in my walk that is suicide. And I say, thank you, God, for changing my mindset. And I've been clean for a long time, and I've been exceptionally clean for just about 2 months, right? And even more than that, I'd only slipped a few days a month for, the last year and a half or something. But I've been really clean for this whole time. And I just think I still continue to struggle that this suggests that in 14 days, your taste buds are going to change. In 14 days, you can restrain. 14 days? Are you kidding me? It has been months, and literally the last couple of months, and changing so much food, and it's not even about that. Yes, my taste buds have changed and they've improved in the way that I'm eating. But my mindset, no diet is going to change that mindset in 14 days. But cheers to you if you can do it. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Like if you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Let me know. Do you have anything about my rash, my mouth, my funky belly button ring? I know, it's bizarre. It's so bizarre, which is why I dare to share it. Or have you done this? Come on. Are you this person who knows this book and you're going to say, the zero sugar diet saved me, Juliana? I'd love to know. What I know for myself right now is that I'm on absolutely no prescription meds, that I take no anything. I'm no caffeine in my life, like no processed anything in my life, and that is my better way to live. And I rejoice to no end for that. But it's one day at a time, sometimes 1 millisecond at a time. All right. Until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.